Hey guys, good morning, afternoon, evening. This is Cloudy Wind and welcome to my learning stream, study stream, knowledge sharing stream of the second part of how to use SQL. So last night, last night we had part 1 and I couldn't finish the lesson, so I'm gonna continue now with part 2, and the difficulty level escalated. Yeah, cannot English. So the difficulty level escalated for part 2 a bit, so bear with me and I will try to explain as easy as possible. So ikuzo. Okay, so previously we have created a database, a Uma Musume database. So we have 4 tables that we created in the previous lesson. So let's look at one of it again using the select statement. Excuse me. Select everything from Uma demographics. Don't forget that semicolon. So this is the table that we have created called the Uma demographics, where we have the Uma name and all the stats for the Uma. And we also have the pink spark and the blue spark. But this is like, if there's a longer list with more Uma, definitely the blue spark and pink spark is going to be very difficult to see what are the blue spark and pink spark that we have. So that's why we have this function called the group function. So let's say I select Uma name. I want to know the speed, and then the blue spark from Uma demographics group by blue spark. Wait, did I get that wrong? Yeah, correct. Excuse me. Group by blue sparks. So what does this group by do? When you run this, oh, that's an error. It contains non-aggregated column. Oh, yeah, we forgot to do aggregation. So when we use the group command statement text, we have to tell tell SQL what exactly we want to group. What do we want to show in the group column? So in this case I forgot to put, so I want to group by blue spot the average speed, maximum speed. Okay, let's do maximum. The maximum speed for those Uma in the same blue spot. So are nante. Is it because I have too many? Naruhodo. I forgot. The blue spot must be in front. And then the Uma name will not be shown because okay, actually the blue spot don't have to be in front. The Uma name is the reason that caused the error, because we cannot show the I'll show you what I mean. So if we run this now, it's working. So let's say for example we go back to the we can see that the maximum speed for speed 2 blue spot is 903. We go back to the table. Speed 2 blue spot, we have Maruzensky, we have Air Grove. Okay, we have these 2 Uma with the blue spot speed 2. The thing is, when I try to show Uma name, it causes an error because we are trying to see what is the maximum speed within this blue spot. So both Umas are grouped together as a blue spark. That's why you cannot show the Uma name. So in this case, the maximum is 5 maximum speed 903, right? Aggro. So if I run this, I will get 903. So that is the reason why you can't show which are the UMAs in this blue spark. So group by is good when you want to see the different calculation from the different groups or the different categories. But sometimes we want to see by the rows, like what are the individual UMAs, or sorry, what are the individual records. So for such use case, we actually need to use something called this is getting difficult, SQL partition. So the partition by is a subclause of the over function clause. So it's used within the Windows function. Okay, I know, yeah, this is getting way escalated to be way too difficult, but bear with me. I'll try to explain. So it divides the result set of a query into partition of group, and then independently on each of these partition. Okay, so let's say, for example, I were to write this command. Okay. Okay, let's not do the join first. Let's do one without the join. So that it's easier to understand. Group by blue spark. Okay, let's use the same maximum speed. Okay, so just now we ran this blue spark maximum speed, right? So it grouped by the different blue spark and they give us what's the maximum speed within that group. If did I just wrote the same command? Yeah. So if let's say using the over function, yes, I just wrote the same command. Let's say using the over function, so this is how it looked like. Actually, let me remove the join table. Let's say now I put Uma name. So let's see whether it works this time. Average speed over from Uma demographics. Don't forget the semicolon. Okay, so now you can see everybody's names here. That means every record is shown. So what it does is that it shows all the average speed of all the Uma as average speed. It's easier to understand. Okay, so this 793.3 is the average speed from all the Uma as compared to average. This is the average speed for each group. Get it? So now the average speed is the average speed for everybody. It's not just the records within the UMAs within the different group, like speed 2, speed 3, stamina 3. Okay, but what if I want to show the average speed for what are the example I can do? What if I want to show the average speed for the different groups? Okay, now it gets a bit complicated. So let's say this time I will join a table so that there's more information to play with. So show you what is inside the table. Uma distance first. Select everything from Uma distance. Okay, so in the Uma distance we can see the Uma name and the different grades for the different type of distant rays. Okay, so and also the style, which is the kind of runner they are. Okay, so what it does now, what we are doing now is that we are joining the tables Uma demographics and Uma distance using the Uma ID, like what we did previously. And then we want to see by the different medium distance rating A, S, and G, what is the average speed. So when you run this is what you get. What happened to G? Oh, because G don't have a... Okay, Sakura Bashino. Sakura Bashino is not found in the distant table, I think. I mean in the demographics table, I think. Let me confirm. Uma demographics. Yeah, Sakura Bashino is not here. Okay, in that case, let's add Sakura Bashino there. Should we? Or what we can do is yeah, we can add Sakura Bashino. Okay, let's say we add Sakura Bashino there. So I have to insert okay. Let's add Sakura Bashino. Okay, so what are the values? Sakura Bashino is Uma number 9. Let me open my Uma Musume game because this is based on my actual Uma. Yes, it is. I am that serious. I can't come up with random numbers. I cannot random. Sakura Bashino, where are you? Chotomate. Sakura Bashino. I got Kin. Hello. Okay, I found her. Okay, I think this is the one that I use. Sakura Bashino AAGG. Yes, this is the one. So Sakura Bashino. Okay, her speed 861. Stamina 582. Power 565. Guts 272. Width 320. What else do I need? Are they? I'm inserting in the wrong table. Sumimasen. It should be. Okay, we have and then we have the blue spark. Blue spark is, oh, this is new. Guts 1, and then turf 2. Acquired date. When did I get her? 2025 August 5th. Okay, let's run this. Error code guards one. Oh, I always forget the. Yeah, I always forget this. Okay, so now Sakura Basino has been added. We can confirm again by running this. Yes, we have number 9 Sakura Basino, and it's actually shown. Okay, so it's interesting that even though I added the Sakura Basino after Haru Urara, but because the Uma ID is actually 9, which is before Haru Urara 11, it actually went into the middle. That's interesting. I thought it would actually be below. I think maybe because this is the primary key, so it just auto insert in between. Okay, I have no idea why this happened. Okay, so now we have Sakura Bashino. Let's run the same. Let's run the same. What were we running? Oh yeah, the partition. But before that, we were running this, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, so let's run the same command again. Okay, now there's more information. So okay, looking at what are we looking at? We are looking at speed, average speed, based on the medium distance race grading. So for medium distance, Sakura Bashino is G. So she's the only G, and then Mayano Top Gun is S, and then the rest are all A. Okay, so if you run this command using group, let me show you what will appear if you just use group. Average speed, that would be I want to show the distance medium, group by distance medium. From oh, I need to join. Okay, let me copy and paste here. So medium distance, what is the average speed for the different medium distance group from Uma demographics joining Uma distance on Uma ID group by distance medium. Okay, so let's run this, and then as expected we have the three distance A, S and G, and then this is the average speed for these three groups. So because Sakura Bashino is the only one in G, and then Mayano Toga is the only one in S, so if you will notice that this speed, average speed, is actually their speed. So if I go back to demographics, Sakura Bashino speed 861, Mayano Top Gun 790. Okay, let's run again. 861, 790. So the only one that is really average is the group A, which is consists of all the other Umas. So all the other Umas should be all in group A. So as you can see, for the medium distance, the other Umas are all A. So what you see, that number is the average from the 6 Uma here. Okay. But then again, like I said, the problem is that if you do this, all the Umas are grouped into this different distance, medium distance. And what if I use this command, the partition? What's the difference? So the difference is that you will still see the average for those different medium distance like A, G and S, but you can see that there are you are repeating like 6 here because we have 6 UMA with medium distance. So it actually, instead of grouping them together as one row, it actually repeat for the 6 UMA. Okay, so this is what will happen if you use the over partition by. Okay, so how can this be useful? Because now this is like just nonsense, because it's just repeating the UMAs, right, the records, right? So how do we make it useful? Okay, so we can actually make it more useful by adding more columns, and that actually is the reason why we use partition. So what we can do is, okay, if we run this, okay, remember in usually when you use group, right, you cannot show the UMA name because you are already grouping by the different types or category. So there's only one row for the group, so you cannot show the UMA's name. But in partition, I can now show the UMA's name. So every record is still there, and you can now tell that, oh, okay, so we have 6 medium. The average for this 6 medium is this, which is, can I make it look more like user friendly? Average speed for per grade. Okay, now it looks better. So now we know who contributed, which are the 6 guys that contributed to this average speed. So besides average, you can also use any other function, like for example maximum. Okay, and then this will be the maximum speed. I remember it was air growth speed. And then we also have minimum. So this sort of query you can do. So you can see, now you can see who are the actual contributor in that group itself. Then partition is also very useful for using for other stuff. So let's say, for example, we look at this query. Okay, what it does is, again, we have joined the demographics and the distance table, and then this time we want to show again the UMA name, the distance for medium distance grading, the speed, and then there's this new thing called sum speed. So the difference between these two commands is actually just, okay, I mean, if let's say I remove the order by, it will be, actually I can remove the order by, then you will see what's the difference. Are they? Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. I'll put back the order by later. So these two statements are about the same, except that now we have a sum speed. So what sum speed does is that it adds it adds a rolling calculation, but then the order by is necessary. Now remember, I cannot just remove the order by. If not, the total doesn't work. Okay, now remember this is 4621, right? Okay, so the difference between with or without order by, if let's say you remove the order by, you are actually showing what is the total speed when you combine all these 6 UMA from Maruzensky to winning tickets. I think there was some problem with OBS. Wait, let me check my YouTube. Come on, ganbare YouTube-kun. Ganbare. Daijoubu. Okay, I think YouTube is back. Okay, so I was saying the difference this is the magic after you add in the order by the Uma ID. So once you use order by, what it does is that you are doing a rolling total. What is a rolling total? That means the first speed is 864, right? The second speed air growth is 903. So the rolling total is 864 plus 903. Then now we go to Daiwa Scarlet, we have 796. So it's 1767 plus 796 to add to this total. So from here, you can actually see what are the rolling total that all the way roll to the maximum, which is 4621. So this is the powerful part of the partition over and partition by and order by. When you use these three commands together, you can actually do a rolling calculation of the total. Hi Khan. Good evening. I hope you had your dinner. And you just arrived at the part where it gets difficult. Okay, so let's try something even more interesting. Okay, so I hope you know the basic of SQL, because this is actually lesson 2. I actually talked about the basic in lesson 1 last night. We are now talking about how to use partition by, the Windows function actually, and the over. This stream is ASMR for SQL. I think my throat is too bad for ASMR now. Okay, so now I'll continue. So now let's look at a new function called row number over. So what is this supposed to be? So again, we have the UMAs all shown here with the medium distance grading and the speed. So what is this row number over that is so confusing? So what it does is it actually gives you a column that starts from 1 and then just keep adding until the last record. That's all it does. Row number over. That's all it does. So if let's say if you were to remove this row number over, it will actually just show the normal table. So all it does is actually add a comma. All it does is actually to add a column showing the row number. So you can also put as row number. That's it. It just oh, I cannot use as row number. Okay, I cannot rename. So basically just add a column showing the row number. So that's actually not very helpful, but this will be helpful if we add back the partition. So if we add back the partition, what happens is that using the partition by, it will actually group the UMAs together again. So what it does is for all because we are going to partition by distant medium, right? So you will look at the 3 distant medium we have, A, G and S. So for all the 6 UMA with medium distant grading of A, it will give the row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it change to a different group, G. Then you will start counting again. Change to a different group S, you will start counting again. That's why you see 1 and 1. So this is useful if, I don't know, if you want to put row number for the different types of categories or groups. And then you can also order by. So what it does is okay, so the difference between these two codes is that I just added order by speed. So what it does is that if I run this again, you can see that the speed is like Maruzensky speed 864, air growth speed 903, Daiwa Scarlet speed 796. It's all over the place, even though we give the row number 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if we order by speed, what it does is, okay, I'm ordering the speed descending, which means that it will count from the highest number to the lowest number. So we have air growth highest speed 903, and then followed by Maruzensky 864, and then so forth for the 6 UMA that have grade A for medium distance. That's why this order by can be useful in this case. So you can have, using this function, you can find out what are the, you can rank the top 6 UMA for medium distance, and then the top 6 for, let's say, long distance or whatever. So this will be useful in this way. Okay, and then while everybody is confused now, I will get into something called the subquery. So what is a subquery? This is a subquery. Okay, let me slowly explain. So let's say you run this, select everything from UMA demographics, this one table, the UMA demographics table, this is what you see. Okay, but what we can do is also, okay, let's say I run UMA distance. This is what you see. Okay, so these are the two different tables. UMA distance will show you all the grading for the different distance, and then UMA demographics will show you the stats of each of these UMA. Okay, so what if I want to see from the UMA demographics, who are the UMA with the style ID equal to 1. So what is style ID? So, well, we don't care about style ID for now. So there are two types of style ID here. The style ID, I can actually write a statement here. Select everything from UMA style. So what is the style ID? So actually the style ID is just the different running style of the UMA, like front, pace chaser, late surger, and closer. So this style ID is what we have inside the table UMA distance. So we know that Maruzensky is style ID 1, which is actually front runner, air growth is 3, which is late surger, and so forth. So we want to find out, if let's say we want to see, so the problem, if let's say I want to see what are the speed for this UMA together with the information of their style ID, usually this is what I will write, right? I will write select UMA name style ID, and then what's the other speed? Okay, from UMA demographics join inner join UMA distance, where wait, what's on okay, let's give UMA demographics a name called this, demo, and then UMA distance, we call it this so that it's easier to call them. So on demo dot UMA ID is equal to this dot UMA ID. Okay, okay, UMA name is ambiguous because it's found in both tables, so we just choose the left table. Okay, this should work. Okay, So you can see we can join these two tables to see what are the style ID and then what are the speed for this Uma. But at the same time, we can also select only we only want to see the Uma with which are front runner, which is style 1, right? So it will be Maruzensky, Daiwa Scarlet, Mayano Top Gun, and Sakura Bashingo. So we can wear style ID is equal to 1. If we do that, then it will show this 4 Uma only. Okay, so this is the code we usually write. But at the same time, we can also do a subquery. So let's say this is useful if let's say it's a very huge table with a lot of different columns. So it's easier to think of, okay, firstly I want to find only Uma with style ID equal to 1. Then I will write select all the Uma ID where the distance from this distant table where the style ID is equal to 1. Okay, so if I do that, no. If I just type this select statement, it will show the Uma ID 1359, which are actually those 4 girls just now. Okay, so you have the ID. Using this ID, Uma ID, you can identify who are the girls, right? So then now you can select everything from the demographics where these are the ID, and because we know that from the query inside, which is the subquery, we already know that the style ID equal to 1, which is front runner. So when we run this, it will only select those Uma whose style ID is equal to 1. So if you compare these two way of writing, actually the first one is easier to understand when we use the subquery, because first we think about this is when you think about what is the subgroup that I want. So the subgroup is style ID must be 1, and then you select the ID to identify those records, and then from outside then you can choose everything else from the huge table where the ID is equal to the ID that we first identified inside the subquery. So it might sound a bit confusing in the beginning, but it's actually easier to look at when you use subqueries. If you compare these two, this is actually easier if you have a lot of things to, I mean, this is a very simple query, but sometimes you have a lot of things you want to look for, then this will be easier. Okay, I'll go with another subquery example. Okay, so this is a different example. So I will write the subquery out first so you know what I'm trying to look for. You always think from the subquery back to the main query. So the subquery, I'm trying to see what's the average speed from the demographics table, which means that where's my table? Okay, so this is the table, right? So this is the speed of all the Uma, the 11 Uma. I want to know what's the average speed. So you select average speed from Uma demographics. So you have the average speed, which is 1 number. Okay, so what this will become, this will become 1 value, because the average speed, there is only 1 number, right, which is 799. So 799 from the 11 Uma is your average speed. Okay, so now if I run this, I'm actually displaying the whole table's Uma name and the speed and the average speed of all the Uma. So you can use a subquery this way, as if it's a variable. Then it will be yeah, in a way it makes calculation easier. So you just have to use a as again to rename the column, because if you don't do that, it will look very messy. you will have the blah 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 here in the column name, which is very ugly. So you just put as average speed of all Uma, then it's more clear cut. Okay, so this is how we can use, these are the two ways we can use a subquery. One is as a variable as part of the select statement, and the other one is as part of the where statement. Okay, then there's another way to use subqueries. If you run this, okay, so always try to visualize from the subquery first. This is inside the bracket is the subquery that we are running. Okay, so if I take this out, what it does is it's giving me the blue spot, maximum speed and minimum speed of all the Uma, 11 Uma inside the demographic table, but grouped by blue spot. So what it does is that remember in the let me go to the table. So remember again, we have the different blue spot here, right? We have speed 2, power 3, speed 3, stamina 2, stamina 3, power 2, guts 1, stamina 2, stamina 1. Then we have, so you can see that there are some Uma with the same blue spot. So Maruzensky and Agrove are both speed 2, so these two can be grouped together. And then Glass Wonder and Mayano Top Gun are both speed 3, they can be grouped together. And then Vodka and Atlas Tachyon is also stamina 2, they can be grouped together. Okay, so what it does is when you group together, this speed 2 is actually consists of those two Umas, and that their maximum speed is 903, and then their minimum speed is 864. So the maximum speed could be from the fastest Uma, and then the minimum speed is from the slowest Uma in the speed 2 category. So by using the group by, you are categorizing all these into the different categories. Okay, then let's go back to this query when we have made use of this bunch. This thing, whole query, become a subquery inside this main query. So what it does is you select the average of the maximum speed as a in a new table. So okay, how do I explain this? So you are using an average on the result from the nested subquery. I don't know how else to explain this. So the maximum speed from the subquery, okay, this maximum speed, when you run this table, it becomes the average of this maximum speed. Yeah, so you can have a, this will become your subquery, and this is your main query, which is only to find the maximum speed of all the different categories. I don't think this is very commonly used. Okay, things are getting more difficult even like now, because we are going to look at yeah, query. Drink some water. It might help. Because next I think that is the most difficult part now. We are going to talk about CTE, which is not an expressway in Singapore. CTE as in common table expression, temporary tables, and store procedure. So let me show you each of them what they are. So CTE, let me start. Okay, never mind, I can continue from here. Actually I can close it. Don't save. Okay, let's start a new one. So let's look at all the tables again. Select everything from Uma demographics, select everything from Uma distance. Should be good enough. Okay. So CTE. So actually CTE is something, this is not related. This you can split. So this whole thing is called CTE. If you use the word with CTE name as and then open bracket, close bracket, this is a CTE. It means that this is a temporary table that you create, and then after you create this temporary table, you can use it over and over again, so that you don't have to keep typing these few lines. You don't have to keep typing the same query over and over and over and over again. So in this case, actually without the whole CTE part, this part can be a separate query by itself. So this query, what it does, it get the Uma name, Uma ID, Uma name, and the medium distance grade, long distance grade, and the style name when you join 3 tables. Okay, why are we joining 3 tables? Because we want why are we joining table? Only 2 tables enough. Are they there? Oh, okay. I guess I can add one more information. Yeah, actually you only have information from 2 tables. Okay, I added speed, so there's a real reason to have 3 tables now. Okay, why are we joining 3 tables? Because the Uma ID and Uma name can be found in Uma demographics and Uma distance, and then this medium distance and long distance grade can only be found in the table Uma distance, but style name, so select everything from Uma style. Okay, so if I run Uma distance, I have the style ID, but this doesn't give me the style name. I don't know what is style 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 supposed to mean. But when I go to the table Uma style, semicolon. When I go to the table Uma style, I can see that Uma style 1 is front runner, 2 is page chaser, blah blah blah. So this is the table where we have all the style name. Okay, so back to our query, we want to see the Uma name, the speed, medium and long distance grading, and then the style name. So that is the reason why you need to join 3 tables. You are joining, first you join the Uma demographic with the Uma distance, okay, and then after that you join the from this joint table, you join again the Uma style. So all of them are joined using different ID. So when you join Uma demographics and Uma distance, you are joining using the Uma ID. And then when you join the Uma style with this overall table, you are using the style ID. So the different IDs are used to join these 3 tables, and then when you run this, you get the Uma ID and Uma name from the first table, demographics, speed from demographics, medium distance grading, long distance grading from the Uma distance table, and then the style name from the style table. Okay, so this is the query that we have written, which is, it can be a bit troublesome to write so many things, especially when we are joining 3 tables. I don't want to keep writing this all the time. So what we can do is we put this inside with CT example, and then bracket, open, close. What it does is now it saves this query into a CTE. So if I run this, okay, it will show the same thing again. The Uma name, speed, distance, and then style name. But then what it does is, after you have run the with CT as example as open close bracket, I can now run the above query just calling just by calling this CT example. So when I run this, I have an error. It doesn't exist. Huh? Why is it? Oh, I haven't run yet. Okay, let me delete this. It's too confusing. Okay, I have run this. You can see from below there were 7 rows returned. Okay, now I can run this CTE. It gives me the same result. Okay, to prove to you that I'm not lying, I type something else now. Uma style. Okay, I'm going to run the Uma style table. Okay, and then now I run again, select everything from CT example, which is this temporary table. Okay, I think I know why. So it has to be used immediately. Why? So I have to run this again. Then I can run this. This is so crazy. I have to use it immediately. Okay lor. Okay, that's the reason why we don't always use CTE example. And anyway, the thing about CTE is that because it's temporarily, what happened? Okay, because it's temporarily, so once you get out of the app, you will lose it. So which is very which is not something that's very useful. So I think it's not that useful, and also plus you have to use it immediately. So yeah, I don't know why people will use that. But temporary table is a different thing. Although temporary table will also be dropped out, so temporary tables will disappear once you log out of the database. But it's at least you can use it anytime as long as you are still logging. So let's say for example, I'm going to create a temporary table. All these semicolon okay. So this is a temporary table. Create temporary table width over 30 from Uma demographics where width is more than 300. Sorry, width over 300. Okay, I'll run the demographic table again to show you who we are looking at. So width more than 300. Actually, I think less than 300 is easier. Okay, width less than 300. Who are the stupid horse? Width less than 300. We have Vodka, not very smart. Winning ticket, I know she's not smart. And then Haru Urara, okay, she's not smart also. So we have, remember these 3 Uma, Vodka, winning ticket, and Haru Urara. Yeah, width is less than 300. Okay, so if we just run this, we can just run this select statement by itself. It will give you the result. Okay, let me remove this statement. Okay, just by running this, it will give you, like I say, Vodka, winning ticket, and Harurula. Okay, if you add in this statement, create temporary table, and then the temporary table name is width over 300. No, not over, less than. Okay, I mean, we just call it stupid horse. Okay, so we create a temporary table. If you run this, you can see in the output window there's a green tick. Temporary table has been created, 3 rows affected, because we know there are 3 horses that well qualify for this. So now I can do it anytime. I can run select everything from Uma demographics, and then after that we can run this temporary table, select everything from stupid horse, Okay, correct. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong stats. So now we have the 3 horse shown with width less than 300. So how do you know? Okay, another way. Oh, you can't. Oh, it's not shown here. Okay, I thought it would be shown here. Okay, so the thing is, temporary table will not be shown in the table panel because it's temporary, but you know it's there. So you can just keep reusing this temporary table until you log out of the database. It would be there. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so that is temporary table. But what if we want something that is permanent? We want something that after logging out we can still find the query. This will be what we use in daily life, right? Because you don't want to keep writing the same query to be used every day. So we have something called the store procedure. So this is how you create a store procedure. Again, let me run without creating the procedure. Let's select everything from the Uma demographics table first. Okay, we have our 11 Uma. I want to select everyone where speed is more than or equal to 700. I want the fast horse only. Okay, so these are the horse, the speed. Wow, halulala 1014. Wow, okay. Anyway, these are the Uma with the speed more than 700 or equal to 700. Okay, so if let's say this is something that you need to find out every day, it will be very tiring, even though it's just to type 2 sentences. So what we do is we can create a store procedure. So this is the way to do it. You just write create procedure. Fast horse is the name of the procedure with open and close bracket, so that we know that SQL know that this is a function. And then this is below is the query for this store procedure that we want to keep. So if we run this, you can see below in the output panel that we have a green tick, and then we have created this procedure. Okay, so here's the thing. You have created the store procedure. How do I use it? Okay, so and then how do I remember what are the store procedure I have created? Because I might create more than one. So let's say for example now I create another one. Okay, let's query the distance. Okay, let's say now I create another store procedure. Create procedure. I want long distance horse. Okay, select. You can select everything, but actually you can also select just. Okay, let's say we only select some information. I only need to know who are the Uma ID, Uma name. I'm only interested in long distance from Uma distance table, where I want to find Uma who are good in long distance, right? So I want they must be grade S or A. So where distance long, this is the column we are looking at, is in either A or S. Okay, so by doing this we are creating another store procedure. Let's run this. Okay, we have run the store procedure. You can see that it's successfully run in the output panel, but at the same time we also can see whether the procedure is correct, has been correctly run and created. We can also see from the schema panel when we do a refresh. So you click this thing for the refresh, and then you can see store procedure. Now you can open up. We have two store procedure now, a fast horse and a long distance horse. Okay, then now the question is, we have the store procedure, but how do we call the store procedure? So what we do is, it's literally call the store procedure. So you call, let's call fast horse first. So you just call fast horse, and then you run it. Ta-da! It will show you the query that we use to create fast horse, the store procedure, which is all the horse with speed more than or equal to 700. Okay, so I can also call long distance horse. So when I do that, I have all the long distance horse: Daiwa Scarlet, Glass Wonder, Mayano Top Gun, Winning Ticket. All the horse where the long distance grading is either S or A. So this is how you can save a lot of time actually by writing this store procedure. So what we have is, we only have one query statement inside a store procedure, but it can be more useful if, let's say, you are going to run a lot of query inside the store procedure. Let's say every day when I wake up, I want to know more than one information. I want to know a few pieces of information about my database. Then I can put everything inside a store procedure. Like in this case, we have a different one to find fast horse and long distance horse, but it's still very troublesome because I need to create two store procedures separately. In fact, I can just create one store procedure to find more than one kind of horse, to run more than one select statement. So how do we do that? Okay, this is a bit more complicated. So okay, so first let's say I want to find so the first one, I want to find horses where the stamina is more than or equal to 700. And then after that, I want to find who are the horses with power more than or equal to 700. Maybe I should have one more. So I also want to find from a different table, from Uma distance, where medium distance is A. No, I want A or S. Okay, in A or S. So we found a good medium distance horse. So inside this store procedure, we actually have more than 3 queries. In fact, I can write more and more query. You can write as many queries as you want inside. Okay, so this store procedure can have all the queries that you want, and then all you have to do is again create procedure, medium race horse. Okay, and then just have to write begin and end to close it. But before you do that, you need to change the denominator. So that's why we are changing the denominator to $$, and then after you finish, you have to change it back to semicolon. Okay, the reason is because if you don't do that, when the stupid SQL run down the line from line 48 onwards, you will see the semicolon as a stopper. So once it reaches the semicolon, it will stop. But we don't want it to stop. We want SQL to keep reading the 3 select statement. So even though we use a semicolon to separate the select statement, we don't want it to stop reading until you finish, which is at the end. That's why we changed the semicolon to a double $sign when we start the creation of the store procedure. And then this $2 sign will tell SQL that Okay, when you see this $2 sign, it means stop. So SQL will start from line 48, will go reading until it sees the $2 sign after n. So it knows that, okay, now I can stop reading. And then after that, we put delimiter semicolon because we want to change it back to semicolon. If not, after that, the rest of the day, your program will have problem. It doesn't recognize all the semicolon anymore. So this is the reason why we have the delimiter before and after. So let's run this to create medium race horse procedure, store procedure. So we run the delimiter. Are they? Okay. Oh, I can't see that it's run. Okay, then we run the create store procedure. Then remember, run the delimiter again. Okay, so now if we refresh, we can see there's a medium. Why is it? Don't do that. We can see that there's a medium race horse now. So if you call medium race horse, it will run all these three. Why is it only two? Where is my result tree? A and S. Oh, unknown distant medium. Huh? Unknown distant medium? It's not distant medium, eh? Wait, where's my distant medium? Oh, DIS medium. Sorry, I added a T. No wonder it doesn't recognize. Okay. Okay, we make a mistake. So this is not running because we made a mistake. But after we make the changes, we cannot run the create table again because because the table, I mean we cannot run this procedure again because it has already been created. So what we should do is we have to drop the procedure. So let's say I drop. Actually, I have not dropped a procedure before, store procedure. I hope this is the correct command. Is this how to drop a procedure? It should be. Okay, procedure name is medium race horse. Are they? This is not the correct. Or do I have to do this? No, doesn't seem to be correct. Okay, never mind. There's always a right click. Drop store procedure. See, there's always right click. Drop now. Okay, let's do this again. We are going to run. We are going to run this again to create a store procedure with the correct name. Refresh. Okay, it's created. Now we call it again. We should have 3 table, the output. And now we have 3 table. The first table is select everything where stamina more than 700. Yes, correct. The second table is select everything where power more than or equal to 700, which is correct. And then the last one is select everything from this distance table where the distance median is A or S, which is correct. Distance median A and S. So this is how you create a store procedure with multiple select statement inside, which is always the case. So what if you want to create a store procedure that you can pass a parameter? That's even more useful, right? So this is how you do it. So let's say I create a procedure called find the horse. Okay, and then this is the parameter we are going to pass in, which is Uma ID para. We call it Uma ID para for now. So you just can name it anything you want. It's an integer because all our ID is integer, so this will be integer. Then we put it inside the begin and end statement also. So you select Uma ID, name, speed, stamina, power from the demographics table, where the Uma ID is equal to the ID that's passed in here, which is the Uma ID param. Okay, so this is the store procedure we are going to run. Let's run this. Is it run? Okay, let's refresh. Nope, it's none there. I need to run one by one. Yeah. Okay, I need to run delimiter first, then create procedure, then delimiter. Now I refresh, it's out now. Find my horse. Okay. Yee. Okay. Find my horse. Oh, I cannot double click there. Okay, never mind. So we have created the new store procedure called find my horse, where we need to pass in the parameter. So in this case, let's say I call the store procedure find my horse. I put in, I don't know, let's put a random number, 5. I don't know who is 5. Oh, 5 is Mayano Top Gun. And then I can also reuse it to call number 8. Who's lucky number 8? Go shit! So yeah, so by doing this, you can actually pass in parameter. In fact, you can pass in more than one parameter. You can pass in whatever parameter you want, I think. But basically that is how you write a store procedure. Yeah, I think I can pass in more than one parameter, because if I have a join table, okay, let's say I create a join table. That would be complicated, because if I use a join table, let's say I join Uma distance, Uma distance as dist as demo. Okay. Where can I do that? Where Uma when this dot Uma ID equal to, no, I think I can't, because this is not, because if I'm going to use a join statement, what if I use an AND? Okay, let's say, sorry, I prefer to put it on the left and right. Let's say this is how you do the join the two table, Uma distance, Uma demographics normally, right? what if I use a n demo Uma ID is equal to Uma ID param? Can I do that? Find my host 2. Run this. Run this. Run this. Okay, find my host 2. Huh? Okay, it doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work. So it doesn't work. I cannot use the end stable. Okay. Yeah, so it has to be only one ID. We can't have a join table here with different IDs. There must be other ways to do it, but need time to find out. Okay, so that is store procedure. And then the last one that I want to talk about is what if you have, well, what if you have what if? Because we are going to look at case statements. That is the last part of today's tutorial. Okay, what is case? So you use case when you want to have different options. So depending on the different options, your result will be different. So what I mean is, let's say for example, I want to see who are the Uma which are smart or not smart. So I select the Uma name and the weight. Okay, normally this is what we write, right? Select Uma name, weight from Uma demographics. Okay, so these are the weight for the Uma. Okay, what if I want to categorize this Uma based on their weight? What kind of Uma are they? Whether they were RT or not. So the higher the weight, the higher probability they were RT. I want to know which are the smarter horses. So we can write a case statement. So I will define that when weight is more than 400, then I put a label smart horse with RT. When the weight is between 300 and 400, then maybe the horse will RT. Else means anything else. In this case, anything that's outside 300 to 400 and outside more than 400, which means any horse which when their weight is less than 300, then I want to say the horse is too dumb to RT. This can be anything that you want to type in. This is just something you use to label the horse. Okay, so you start with case and then you write when, what happened, then do what, then give what label, and then end with the else. You can do it without the else also. If you don't have any dropout, you don't need to use the else. Okay, and then you always end the case. Okay, and then from Uma demographics. So Uma probability is just the name that we want to give to the column. So when I run this, you will see. Okay, so RT probability, like I said, is the name of the column that we are using for those labels. So in the case where the weight is more than 400, smart horse with RT. So you can see that Marozensky, Daiwa Scarlet, Grass Wonder, all these with weight more than 400, we have labeled them with the text smart horse with RT. And then weight in between 300 and 400, like Air Growth 340 might RT. Else, horse too dumb to RT. I'm sorry, Haru Urala. Her weight is less than 300, which is outside the first two condition. So you have horse too dumb to RT. So this is how you use the case statement. So the case is your if then else, which can be very useful. Yeah. And then we can also do calculation within the case. So let's say for example, we want to see if we do some calculation, what will happen. So or maybe, okay, maybe let me change this. if the width, we want to help Haru, if the width is less than 300, I mean outside this range, right, we want to else width plus 600. We want to give her 600 boosts of width. So if you run this, you realize that Haru become 889. So you can also use this if then else, I mean the case, to do calculation within the conditions. So this is case, and I think we have finally finished all the chapters that I have written for this tutorial. Okay, so yeah. I'm sorry Khan, I'm sorry everybody if let's say today's lesson might be a bit difficult, because it is thank you, it is the today's lesson, it is a bit advanced for people who are new to SQL, but today's query are all very practical query that you can actually see the data analysis use in their daily life, daily work. So yeah, I guess that's it for SQL. If you go back to my last lesson last night and then plus this lesson, I wouldn't say that you will be a master in SQL, but at least you can go by. You will be able to use and query a database pretty comfortably. So okay, I'll repeat something again in case I didn't mention it last night. I don't remember whether I mentioned it, but let me change my browser to something. Let me go to my SQL. So you can actually get free SQL database at home to play with if you are not aware. So let me show you where to get it. Okay. Okay, so if you search mysql.com or you go to mysql.com, this is mysql.com homepage. If you go to downloads, you can ignore everything, and then you just scroll down to MySQL Community GPL downloads. You click on it. You can find all the downloads that you can get from this mysql.com. So you can get the MySQL workbench, which I just used for the tutorial, and then this will be where the UI that I have been using just now, for you to put in your query and everything, and then my SQL installer for Windows. So I mean, assuming you are using Windows, if not, then you click on the Mac one. So you just have to download the installer for Windows. It's free. They will ask you to join, but you can ignore it. You can just say no thank you, and then you can just download and you get a free database on your PC. So MySQL is pretty good if you just want to learn about SQL. So so always download the installer first, install the installer first, then after that, then you go back to the previous page and download and install the workbench, because you need the database first before you get the UI to enter your query. So yeah, so that's how you can get a database on your PC for free. This is not a sponsor stream. Okay, so besides this SQL lesson, I don't know, I this is the first time I'm doing this is the first time that I'm doing study stream. So I don't know whether you guys want me to do any other study stream on any other topic that I might happen to know, but do let me know if there's anything that you guys want to learn that I might happen to know. I'm not that smart, by the way, so I don't know a lot of the programming stuff also, so don't ask for something that's too difficult, please. I do know Microsoft Office. Yeah, so yes, do let me know if you want me to like help you guys, and then we can study together. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that I'm teaching, but I'll call it study together. As you can see, I make mistakes also, so let me know if there's anything you want to learn, and then I'll see whether it's happen to be something that I know. So because of my education and job, I just happen to know SQL. I have learned Java before, but I can tell you I have not used it for 1,000 years, so I might not be that good in Java. I definitely know Microsoft Office. If for some reason you don't know how to use Microsoft Office, which is weird, I guess we can starting together. I also know. What else do I know? I actually do. You don't have Office? Oh, I don't have Office also. I just use Google. It's the same thing. So yeah, actually I don't mind doing Excel training one day. I might, let me think about it, because before I can do the training I need to write the tutorial first. Like for example, for today's tutorial, right, I actually wrote down everything on a Word document first before I start the training, so that I know exactly what to write. So this is where I have been copying and pasting onto the SQL server. Yeah. So thank you, Khan. I hope you're not too confused. So yeah, do let me know if there's something you want me to go through next time. And no, I cannot do drawing stream, in case you're thinking of that, because I can draw but I'm not good, so I don't want to. Yeah, I'm really not good. My drawing is horrible, and the way I do it on Photoshop is all over the place, so I'm not that good for, and I don't know how to teach how to draw. I mean, as compared to writing code or using an applications, drawing is something that, well, even Ina says she don't know how know how to teach drawing, because she just draw. But of course Ina is a different level. So anyway, I guess I'll end the stream here today. We should be going back to normal gaming stream next, because yeah, teaching is, or studying together, it's not easy, because I have to talk the whole time, and this is killing me. Thank you, Khan. I'm glad you like you think that is a good lesson. So I'll see you guys another time on a gaming stream next. Pretty sure it's going to be a gaming stream. Okay, thank you, and have a good rest, Khan, for the rest of the night. Thank you. Mata ne. Ja ne.